So today's story revolves around this content creator. Now I have no idea how to pronounce this username, so instead I'm going to call them by their secondary username, Kazumi Nightmare. So let me introduce you to Kazumi.
Bark, Mukkiw, bark! Ow! 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 Woof, 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 woof. I can't! Growl at me! Grr.
I think you guys get the idea. They are delightful. And they're also a VTuber artist. The next piece of this puzzle is Idol Corp, one of my favorite VTuber companies because they have produced multiple gems of VTubers, most notably my personal favorite, Yuko Yurei, which I will play a brief clip of here.
I have alcohol. Why is the drink yellow? Cause want a sniff, Jack? It's whiskey, I promise. I promise.
You get the idea. But herein lies the problem. Kazumi was commissioned by Idol Corp to make some art for them and unfortunately was not paid, and they have created this document explaining their interaction with Idol Corp CEO. So as you can see here, Aviel is getting in touch with the artist and commissioning them for the artwork. They have a lot of photos and back and forth, etc, etc. The artist goes on here and shows that they delivered the artwork, and they get into a little bit of a discussion about payment. The artist then says, about payment, I prefer Wise. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but they prefer it more than PayPal. And this is where we run into the first spot of trouble, as Aviel says, I'll go over the details of Wise is possible, but we'll delay payment because it takes time for finance to process it. And this was on May 9th of this year. There's a lot of back and forth in this document, but ultimately, despite being in contact with the CEO, by the 20th of June, they still had not been paid for the work that they had completed, which is an insanely long time to get paid and completely unacceptable. So they posted on Twitter because they saw Idol was hiring an artist/illustrator, even though this artist had already commissioned work for them that they hadn't been paid for. So they quote retweeted and said, "At least pay me first." And the day after they post about it, they get a response directly from Idol apologizing for the bad experience, saying they're going to send the payment through and including a 50% bonus, only after they posted about it on Twitter. They claim that the payment had been processing days before, but it's pretty convenient that it didn't actually go through until after they complained about it publicly. Very suspicious. They then go on to provide a very long disclosure about how they're not trying to send hate and blah 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 blah. Idol claims that they have hired a full-time project coordinator to handle all projects with freelancers going forward to ensure that this doesn't happen again. I find it weird that they needed a project coordinator and didn't have one. That's a little bit insane. Like, how do you not have a dedicated person who exists to manage your freelancers if it is such a problem to manage your freelancers that you can't pay the damn people? That is unacceptable. But ultimately the artist has been paid, however late, and everything seems to have been resolved. Now, I have absolutely no idea if the CEO was just planning on never paying them, if they had issues paying through Wise specifically and had to pay through PayPal instead, and that was the solution. I have no idea why it's so complicated to pay your artists, and I will say that you should probably hash out how you're going to pay them in advance, not after the work has been completed. Like, I personally have commissioned artists many times, but I will only commission them if they accept payment through PayPal, because I refuse to use things like Venmo or Wise or any other payment services because I have PayPal. It's very convenient. I don't want to have to create a whole new account just for one payment. It's a huge pain in the ass. So I just only hire artists that accept PayPal. It's something you hash out in the beginning, and the fact that that wasn't hashed out in the beginning reflects very poorly on the CEO here. But hopefully with their new project manager, this won't happen again in the future. But that's all I have to say about the issue. What do you guys think about this story? Any and all comments, I want to read them in the comment section down below. Bye guys.